So this is one of the graphic calculator skill for you to solve this thing. So everyone must learn up this skill, okay? So first of all, you key into your graphic calculator Y1, which is 66x. Ashwindaran, did you key in?
No, miss.
How can, young man? Correct? Okay, then if you don't want to put your Y2, you can put your Y4 because you don't want to disturb your Y2. I key in as 3. Okay, just give you some idea. You know this function. This function is this type of function, correct? Still remember this function? So the nature of this graph is like that, am I right? Yes? Am I doing the right thing? Christopher?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, may I know what is the coordinate of this point, Christopher? The coordinate x of this point. What is the value of x1? And x2?
A over B squared, is it?
The y, yes. The y is A over B. Is it A over B? 1 over B. Yeah, A over B. This is A over BE. You are right. But here, I want the x coordinate. Christopher. All of you don't have your note beside you. I happen to call you, okay, Christopher?
1 over B.
Yes, 1 over B, you are right. So if for our case, so this is 1 over B. So all of us have to know this. So for our case, this is 1 over 0.2, which is 5, right? And this one will be 2 over B. Yeah, this one will be 2 over B. Yeah, so it will be, okay, double it. So our case here will be 10. So if you know this, correct? So when you sketch this graph that time, what you need to do is, you go to window. You go to window, correct? Your x minimum, you put 0. So your x maximum, you want to see the inflection point, correct? Here is 10. So you will know what to choose already. Okay, you put 20. Then you go to zoom. You do a zoom fit. Then you can get a graph like that. The graph come out will be like that. Yeah, this is your FT. And this is your 3. So you see, sometimes you can't get the graph. This is y equal to 3. So you find there are 2 intersection points. You get the T1 and get the T2. You want it to be more. So it must be between here, above. So T1 is 0.559. Okay, T2. Who can give me T2? Yeah, T2 will be, you do intersection, you bring the cursor near here, then it will give you the next intersection. So you have to do it twice. So it's 17.9. Okay, so you got this. So therefore, the answer for this one will be, therefore, T must be more than or equal to 0.559 and less than or equal to 17.9. So this sort of things is very useful. You see, that is the reason why, okay, usually when a patient go for surgery, okay, who have to prepare the patient first? Okay, I tell you, from now on, if anyone, you without textbook with you, I call you, you can't give me the formula, I kick you out straight away from the class. Okay, so the value of the car after 3 years is given by 20,000 times by e to the power of negative 0.40. So the value depreciate. If you study econs, you will say depreciate. Okay, so like cars, you will depreciate. House, it may appreciate. Appreciate means the price increase. Yeah. So now the purchase price of the car. So that means when you say purchase price of the car, I want to know how much I buy the car. Okay, how much I pay for it. So that means that is at the initial state, the beginning state. So, Karo Rampa, what should I substitute T with for part A?
Yes, miss. Hello.
What should I substitute T with for part A to get
For
the
part-
purchase price?
You should substitute T
With what?
where?
Because I want the purchase price of the car.
With 0?
Yes, the beginning. When I buy the car, I start to time it. So at the initial, so that means the value at the initial is your purchase price. So 20,000 e to the power negative 0. So everything is e to the power 0 is 1. So you buy the car with $20,000. Is it possible to have this in Malaysia? Can you use RM 20,000 to buy a car? Young people? No. What is the cheapest car that you can have in Malaysia? With Malaysia ringgit.
You can buy second-hand kancil, miss.
Yeah, I can buy second-hand kancil. Okay, okay. But that is a second-hand. This is a brand new car. Okay, second-hand kancil. Yes, yes, yes. Do you know my first car, I bought it only with 40,000 only. Now 40,000, how can you get a car? Okay, part B. Okay, the rate at which the value of the car is decreasing 10 years after it was purchased. So now what you need to do is you either can differentiate it to find the V prime T, or you can use your graphic calculator, up to you. So now if we want to get V prime T for this function, it's not that difficult after all. So it's 20 times negative 0.4. Yeah, then e to the power negative 0.4 t. So the rate at which the value of the car is decreasing after 10 years. So V prime 10. So you just use your calculator and you calculate. Okay, can you give me the answer? Shafiq? Shafiq, can I have the answer?
Negative 146.
Negative 146. Okay, so how do you interpret this? How do you interpret this? After 10 years. Okay, how do you interpret it after 10 years? Okay, Ayman? Ayman? Can you base on this and interpret? After 10 years, the Ayman, are you here? Ayman? Ian Ayman.
Oh, me.
Yeah.
Uh, after 10 years, the price of the car is decreasing by $146.
Yeah. After 10 years, the price the price of the car dropped by per year. Right? So if they ask what is the price of the car after 10 years, you just put it down there. Okay. So will the price of the car, if I further ask the question, will the price of the car be zero? Will the price of the car be zero? In the long run, will the price of the car be zero? Okay, how to answer this question? Will it be zero? The answer is no. It will approach zero, but it will not become zero. So how are you going to show that it will not become zero? Madeline?
As e to the power of 0.40 approaches infinity.
Should we start with st? Should we start
Yes.
with t approaches infinity? In the long run means t approaches infinity. Yeah, we have to start with that. So what happened to e to the power of negative 0.40?
Approaches zero.
Approach zero. So my value of the car will approach zero, but it will not become zero. So you write here from above. How will the graph of the value of the car look like? Have you? It will start from 20,000. Then it will go down like that. Yep. So this is the graph for the value against time. Yep. So that is how the graph look like. Is that okay? So what else can I ask from here? Is there anything that I can ask from here, from this question? Any other possible? Okay. Can I ask you to describe the changes of the value of the car over time? Over the period of time. Describe. So how are you going to describe it? Shinran.
The car is decreasing with decreasing rate. The value
Yes. Yeah. So the price of the car or the value of the car is decreasing with decreasing rate. So you see, in the first few years, the price of the car dropped a lot, but after that, it will not. So if for cars, correct, if you know that, like for example, this year I buy a car with RM, okay, year 2021, I buy a car with RM 85,000, correct, for example. So if I sell it off next year, correct, 2022, correct, the price drop a lot. I can only sell for about RM maybe 70,000 only. So it dropped a lot. That's why usually people buy car, correct? Yeah, unless it's a company car, they will not change the car one within 10 or about. They will use their car for about at least 10 years. Then only they change the car. If not, they depreciate a lot. Okay. Y'all don't have to y'all don't have to worry about buying car, right? Your parents will. So let's have a look. So I told you already, usually my habit is I will draw the sign diagram for f prime x. Okay. So I purposely put x equal to a and x equal to b and x equal to c. So I have to put the dotted line here. Correct? Why I have to put dotted line? Why I have to put dotted line? Jen, how?
Because the graph does not passes through B.
Yeah, the graph doesn't pass us through B
Or
because,
C.
yeah, because x equal to B and x equal to C is not part of the domain. And there is also the vertical asymptote. Am I right?
Yes.
So that is something that you have to, okay, what is another point that I have to mark on my sign diagram of f prime x? Jen, how?
The minimum point.
Yeah, minimum point. So what is the x coordinate of the minimum point in this case?
0A.
0. Correct? Okay, good. Thank you. So now, shall we? May I know what is the sign for f prime x for x less than b?
Negative.
Negative. Because the graph is going down, correct? How about b to 0? Shall we?
Negative also.
Negative also because it's going down, am I right? Yeah, then after that is positive, am I right? Then after that is positive also. Right? So that means now I know that for my f prime x graph, this part will be below the x-axis here. Okay? And for this part will be above the x-axis. So you know the position is very important, will be above the x-axis. So now how is it going to be like? Okay, so now what we do, we put the f double prime x graph, sign diagram. So there is no inflection point. So we still have to put down these two because it is not part of the domain. Okay, so now I know that. Hold on, I have to delete all this first. Okay. So this part is concave down. So concave down, you will have a negative sign. This part is concave up here. So positive sign. And this part is also concave down, negative sign. So now I know that my f prime x graph, this is negative and go down. So negative and go down. Okay. And this part is negative but go up. Negative but go up. Then at 0 is flattened. So my graph will pass by this point. Maybe it's here, maybe it's here, it doesn't matter. I don't know. Yeah, pass by this point. Yeah. Okay, then after that, this is positive. That means it will go up to the positive region. So it will go up. Then this part, it will go down, but positive region. So it will go like that. So my graph now, I transfer this into here. Up to you. You want to draw it up here, whatever. This is going like that. This one go from very negative, pass by here, then go up, positive. Okay, and this one from very positive, go to 0, but is more than 0. So I got the graph. Do you get me? Hello? Anyone got the correct graph? So try never ever lah. I will say, you want to get the correct graph, never ever just draw it from here. Draw these two side diagram to help you to figure out how is this go. Okay? Okay, so now who want to answer the question? Y equal to fx changes its concavity at x equal to b and x equal to c. Why there isn't an inflection point for y equal to fx? We say inflection point is a point whereby the concavity of the graph changes, correct? In this case, why there isn't an inflection point? Who can answer? Raisa, you want to try to answer?
I'm not so sure, Miss.
Never mind, try lah.
You talk about, do we include the sign diagram? Can we?
Okay, you just, yeah. Just now when I say when we draw the sign diagram, I got mentioned what is B and what is C. X equal to B and X equal to C.
I'm not too sure now.
Try lah.
Talk about the sign now.
You don't talk about the sign. You see, look, this one is concave down, correct? Then it changed to concave up. There should be an inflection point, correct? But how come in this case there isn't? We know that if I have a graph like that, for example, I got my y equal to fx, correct? The graph is go like that. So this is the inflection point, correct? Am I right? That is how we work on it. Because here change for concave up, concave down to concave up. Am I right? So there should be an inflection point, correct? But in this case, why not? There is a way to answer. So try. Look at the thing. Because in exam, they can ask you any question that I may not ask you before. So how are you going to, you observe where they change the concavity. Here, how do we name this dotted line? Wang Yi, you want to try to answer?
Is it because the asymptote is not part of the domain?
Yeah, but how are you going to answer to this? To this, you see the question is say, y equal to fx changes its concavity at x equal to b and x equal to c. Why there? Why? There. Why there isn't an inflection point? So you have to, you cannot tell me that, you have to tell me, yeah, it got changed, but why there isn't an inflection point? So you have to explain like, because the concavity changes at where? How do we call, what do we call this line? At the vertical what? Asymptote of x equal to b and x equal to c. Instead of saying x equal to b and x equal to c is not part of the domain. The moment you see vertical asymptote, correct, we know already is not part of the domain. Then after that, you want to add in because x equal to b and x equal to c is not part of the domain. Then you can add. But the key word is because the shape changes, the concavity changes at the vertical asymptote. That is how you answer this question. Are you clear? So this is one of the past year, they ask question like that. So every time, every year, correct, when you sit for final, correct, you will see that there are some questions that your teacher may not ask. That's why every time when I discuss certain question, correct, I will ask you, hey, what do you think we will ask you again? What are the possible other questions? Like that, when you doing your final 30%, correct, you won't get the shock of all these questions. Yeah, class, can you? Okay, so can you please try to do question 14? Yeah, so that Friday we can make some discussion and at least I can have a time to answer other questions in the exercise that you cannot do. Can or not, student? So I will see you on Friday, class? Yes? Okay, thank you, class. If you have any question, you can ask if you want to. Yeah, because we have replaced it on Monday. Remember?
Yeah, miss.
Monday?